The third section to graduate career chemistry is all about influential interviewing. This section is not about how to answer interview questions. Yes, it's about a perfect interview, but this is a very different type of interview. I'm not an interview coach. Your university careers department will already have great resources you can make use of for standardized interviews. My course has been created off the back of my own journey searching for graduate jobs myself. I've had 60 interviews in the past 2 years. This section is not built from a textbook. It's sharing the theories I personally used and created myself to achieve a total of 58 offers from those interviews. Let's get back to it. We're talking about influential interviewing, which is provoking an opportunistic hire. Remember, these jobs don't exist yet. The best way to think about this section is like this. It's like you calling up your friend and saying, "Come over, I have something to tell you." And when they turn up, you say, "Go on then, you start talking." See, you called this interview meeting by taking an interest in the company, being unique and finding the exact person to send your CV to. That CV has sparked their interest because it stands out. From the moment you arrive, you need to show this company that you can add value and help their business grow. This section is split into two. Strategy is core, psychology is the icing. Psychology is for those who feel more confident in being dynamic. You should explore our student library. So we begin with interview strategy. The interview strategy aims to answer this question: what are the messages that you should send out during an opportunistic interview? Now, this entire section sits on a concept foundation known as the Big Two. That is, 1. Make a good impression, and 2. Be remembered. Now, from the previous section, you'll remember these 5 growth rules. 2 of these can help you make a good impression. That is enthusiasm and communication. So let's begin with the power of enthusiasm. It's important to make your first exchange enthusiastic. Tell someone something you love already about the company. Now, myself, I always like to say something about the reception room or the location of the business. Enthusiasm is portrayed through a person's energy. Now, I'm not getting psychic on you, don't worry. By energy, I mean your presence in the room. So here's what I do before I go into a business for the first time. I like to put myself in the zone. I pretend I'm about to hit the town for a night out. I play my favourite songs and I get myself in the mood. By the time I'm inside the building, I'm so hyped to talk to people it shows in my exchanges. An easy goal for achieving energy is this: try to bring a sprinkle of happiness to that person's day. Now, we're still talking about making a good impression, now through communication. One very simple principle to remember is this: teeth, eyes, ears. Now, that's communication without words. By teeth I mean smile. Smile when you're talking, smile when you're not talking. Smile at everybody you meet, speak to, or look at. People like happy employees. People that show positivity and content with their lives are statistically more likely to stay with a business and continue to progressively add value. Eyes. Look people dead in their eyes. People say this is to do with confidence. This is true, but I prefer to say it's about being comfortable. Both parties will feel more comfortable as your interview exchange goes on. Looking someone in the eyes makes that person feel like you want to get to know them. Ears. By this, I mean listen. A key goal for an employer is finding someone who listens. Every business is different. People that listen learn quickly. People that learn about a business can operate efficiently and effectively in the workplace. Now, let's talk about number 2, be remembered. I want to stop you there. Influential interviewing is not a step-by-step guide. I don't care what people say. This cannot exist, simply because every person is different. We try to empower uniqueness. Being remembered is a concept you need to keep in the back of your head throughout the entire interview exchange. Being remembered is achieved by showing a company that you're flexible in the workplace, that you have entrepreneurial attributes, and that you have specialist skills that relate to their business. Let's also remember that no one's going to remember you if you don't make a good impression. Let's look at being remembered by showing you have entrepreneurial attributes. The others you can look at in our student library. For now, let's look at clever closing equals jobs. By that I mean, can I just sum up by saying, by doing this you are showing an employer that you had the initiative to spot an opportunity to benefit your position and you took it. This is an entrepreneurial skill. You are also showing an employer that you can influence stakeholders. Again, a massive entrepreneurial skill. People that see something and create a mechanism to obtain it are entrepreneurial personalities. Let's talk about interview psychology. Now, by this I mean, what are the ways that you can maximize the positive aspects of you? Sometimes in life it's fairly difficult to get somebody to warm to you in such a short space of time. What this part of the course aims to do is, well, help speed that process up a little. Let's take one of my examples. This is the weaknesses rule via my theory of clever selling. Now, if you've seen the video for the previous section, you'll remember that clever selling is about getting someone to make a decision based on your influencing actions, not force. One thing that I quickly noticed from my mass interviewing was that this concept works best off the back of an interviewer's question. Well, here's one you're always going to get. What are your weaknesses? The response works around criticizing the positive and honesty. And here are my responses. Sometimes I need to learn when to take a break. Now, I'm criticizing my positives. I was sometimes late for lectures. No criticism, I'm just being honest. Sometimes because I'm listening, people think I'm quiet. That's not me. Again, I'm criticizing my positives. Now, I haven't said bad things about myself, but I've been very humble about doing it. Now, this ties in with our principle of arrogance versus confidence. You don't want to be an arrogant candidate. People won't like that. What we've done here is avoided the acknowledgement of our successful attributes. What we've also done here is made these attributes more believable by sandwiching honesty. Now, in life in general, people will believe your claims if you are perceived as an honest person. Now, I said I was sometimes late for lectures. It's not something that's not going to get me the job, but it is very honest. Graduate Career Chemistry recognises that both strategy and psychology elements of our course must be overlooked by principle. All of our materials must be used around your genuine personality. If you try and change who you are, you'll just come across as fake. We also talk about the professional requirements. Now, for example, sitting straight, your appearance choices, standing to shake someone's hand, or researching the business before you arrive. We talk about the whole truth, in that it's important to tell the truth, but not say things in an interview that could be detrimental. When you partner with Graduate Career Chemistry, you can show your graduates that the very innovation and intelligence that makes them the minds of tomorrow can land them that job that sits in line with the degrees they spend so much time, money, and efforts obtaining. This can all be taught to your university students by lecture, seminar, or workshop by Graduate Career Chemistry.